Right. Welcome to the Minneapolis post-race press conference for the Monster Energy AMA Supercross 450 class. Let's go ahead and kick this off with a question for Cooper Webb. A big night for you. How much more comfortable did you feel on the East Coast dirt?
Yeah, it was a great night. Definitely much better than the last few, no doubt. Big step in the right direction. I like the track. Obviously the ruts earlier in the day, but in that main event, it was kind of a mix with ruts, and it definitely hardened up a lot. But yeah, I seemed to definitely gel with the East Coast, and just kind of being back in Florida this week felt a lot more homey, and just cleared my head a bit. And but I got to get up to the team. They came up with a package this week that seemed to help me quite a bit. So it's nice to be back. It's got a few crashes and whatnot, but we were in the fight and went all the way, which was nice.
Is racing on your home coast really that impactful for your program?
I wouldn't say that impactful. It's just, I don't know, being from the East Coast, it feels just more homey. And I think for me, just like I said, going back after crap results out west, going back home and just kind of like clear head, new track to ride, new people that you're around, it's at this level, it all makes a difference.
All right, let's turn it over to the pros, starting with Jason Wygant.
Yeah, I'll go to Jason Anderson. You win the race, so congrats on that. But you said you didn't quite feel the groove tonight. So what's the difference? There's been like 2 races this year where you just didn't quite feel sharp. Can you put a finger on what's the difference, even though you did win tonight?
I think my speed was good. That's not anything that I had a struggle with. I just think that you had to have a lot of focus on the track tonight because it was breaking down left and right. There was a 3 out of the corner, and Dirtworks didn't prep the corner, so it just made it really tough on us the whole main event. The whoops were basically enduro cross through them, and it was just a tough track. It really was. But speed-wise, I felt good. Just focus-wise, you really have to focus to hit your marks really well on a track like this. So I think that's more what I meant when I felt a little off.
All right, let's go to David Iser.
Thanks, Chris. This one's for you, Coop. You mentioned some things changed this week, which obviously worked out for you. Can you allude to that at all? And also, how much harder has it been to get a handle on this new bike than maybe you guys thought going in Anaheim 1?
Yeah, it was the man actually came up with it. Raj went to work, and I didn't get to try it all week, so I just showed up here and rode it, and it worked out a little better for sure for me, and seemed to get better throughout the day. So it's definitely, I think our old bike, and at least for me, I gelled on it so well. Just felt like it was built for me in Supercross. So I think this one is, with a new bike, you're learning nonstop, and the conditions, they're ever changing. We race on so many different kind of tracks and soils and dirt. So you think you get it right, and then you go somewhere where it's totally different than maybe your test track or where you've been practicing. So, it's not for a lack of effort, but it's definitely been a struggle for me anyways.
All right, welcome back to the box. Thanks.
Thanks.
Let's go with Jamie from the MotoX Pod Show. You're on mute.
Yeah, I was trying to figure it out with my phone. Jason, it seemed like with about 7 minutes left, you kind of just settled in. Was this track really hard to make up time? It seemed that way.
Yeah, it was very hard to make up time, and honestly, when you were trying to make up time, I felt like you were a little bit on the edge, and I have caught myself in trouble a couple times this year just by doing that. So it's something that it was something mentally that was tough for me because obviously you want to win and you want to push the whole time, but at the same time I felt like a couple times I was taking a little more risk than I really wanted to. Obviously, I don't want to end up on the ground. I don't want to get hurt just for me, but I also want a good result that is for the long game, I tried to start making up some time, but Chase was riding really well, and I was just trying to keep pace, and if anything happened, I could be there, and it happened, obviously, and it was just tough track, like I keep saying.
Yeah. All right, thanks, man.
Thank you.
Michael Antonovich.
Thanks, Kristen. This one is for Cooper. Cooper, through the 20 minutes, you kind of went through it all. up in the front, shuffled back a bit, worked your way back forward. How do you take that on through those 20 minutes and stay aware of everything that's happening, like when Chase goes down and Malcolm goes down?
Yeah, it was a lot. Like I said, I finally led some laps, which felt really good. And then I could feel Chase, catch me a little bit. I knew he was faster and probably getting a little impatient. So it was kind of one of those things that once he kind of got around me, I put a little fight, but then just kind of wanted to tuck in behind him. But Jason was right there and going well too. So I almost kind of got pounced on a little bit where all three of those guys got me, and then just tried to stay calm, cool, collected, and follow in, which I felt like I did. And I felt like I was riding really good laps behind, Jason and Mookie. And I kind of got closer to Mookie, kind of made a push on him, and then he ended up kind of tucking the front, obviously going down. And then Chase went down, and it was kind of one of those things where I felt super solid throughout the whole main event. Wish I could have maybe push a little harder there at the 5 to 12 lap mark, but overall can't complain. And I know what it's like to go the distance now, so we'll see where that leads us.
Cool. Thank you.
Ryan Nitson from Cycle News.
Thanks. Yeah, this one's for Marvin. Hey, Marv, this is your best result of the season, so congrats on that. What you've been doing differently from week to week to get up here on the box?
Well, nothing. I just feel like Glendale. I was, I had the possibility to get on the podium, and then I went down on the last moto. And then last weekend I was running third, and I went down. And then, and this weekend I was running fifth, and then two guys went down, and I got third. So it's been a little crazy, to be honest. But the speed's been there, and I've been enjoying it during the week and doing my thing. And then today, all day, I felt like the speed was good. I was right there in practice and enjoying it a lot. That track was really tough, really technical, and which is good. And then, fortunately, I didn't get a good start in the main, but I don't know how, but I made it happen in the first two corners, and I was right there in the mix. And then the whole moto, I was right there with following Mookie, and then things happened in front of me, obviously, and then I kind of lost ground when I was behind Cooper, and then Mookie went down. I had to roll the triple when he went down, unfortunately, because they put the red light on. So I lost some time, and I thought he was gonna get back up right in front of me, but I was able to still get around him. So to get a podium tonight means a lot. Those ones they're tough to get, so especially this year. So I'm pretty happy. I mean, of the result, but a little bit disappointed of the second half of my main event. So we'll work on it, and but I'm happy. My goal this year is to be in the mix, just like tonight, practice and in the main. So we'll keep going.
Awesome. Congrats.
Let's go with Brad Gebhardt.
Thanks, Kristen. Brad Gebhardt, Big MX Radio. Let's go to Jason Anderson on this one. Congrats on the win, bud. Riding throughout the week, is it even really possible to prepare for tracks that break down in this manner? Practice tracks, to my knowledge, are pretty well groomed. What do you guys do to simulate race conditions, or can you?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I feel like it's tough to do it if you ride by yourself at the track, but lately we've been riding every Tuesday. We've been riding PC track, and Bones and the crew have been having the track dialed for us, and all the PC guys go out there and we get it as torn up as possible. And then honestly, I've been trying to ride as much public tracks as I can as well, just to try and see if I could ride it really rough. But you can't mimic what we raced tonight. It's just impossible. I feel like if you did, you won't make it to the next race.
Fair enough. Has some rougher tracks had you veer away from what your original setup was rolling into A1?
I mean, I've been trying to progress my bike, but I keep going back to the same setup. But I feel like we're working towards to get some feelings in my bike with other settings, but we're just not quite there yet. So it's a work in progress for us. I feel like what I got right now is a good base, and we've really gotten far with it. But I think that there is still progress to be made with my bike. But it's tough because to find that magic setting is really tough to find. So we're working on it.
Perfect. Well, cold weather served you well. Thanks.
Thank you.
Jonathan McCready.
Jonathan McCready, question for Cooper Webb. Cooper, the whoops seem to have been a lot bigger this year, maybe more back to the early 2000s. Do you think that's been a factor in your comfort, or is this just all a new bike and you searching for settings?
I mean, they've been tough, no doubt. Especially the West Coast swing. They have been built a little different this year, and they've been getting tough. And even tonight, it's I felt better in them throughout the day. Like I think the progress we made with the bike helped that a lot. But it's we kind of went to that survival line, if you will, just kind of getting through it the best we could. So it's hard to say, but yeah, they've been really tough this year. A lot of laps ridden on them with not a lot of maintenance. So it's definitely nice to get better with the bike, but also myself and maybe the East Coast, I gel with those whips a little better.
And just also, in these weeks where the results haven't been going well, how is it with you and the team to try and analyze these results? Do you look at yourself, or is just all this new bike to try and figure out? It must be fairly intense weeks for you and the team.
Yeah, it's not great. Definitely not great. There's a lot of pressure to perform, and especially with the number one plate. So when you're riding around in eighth place, it's not good. And so, yeah, it's been a battle for sure. Mentally, emotionally, it's been a roller coaster. So just believing in myself and getting back to it and not quitting when things got hard was what I'm pumped on. And we're still round 7. Anything can happen, but at least I'm back at the front and where I feel like I need to be.
All right, Mitch Kendra.
Hey, Mitch Kendra from RacerX. My question's for Jason. So I'm sure there was a little bit of uncertainty, when you changed the team and went to this new brand and everything. Obviously, the end goal is a championship, and there's a lot of racing left. But do you kind of feel like these wins kind of help with your mindset that you made the right choice and kind of had a refresher, like you said, in your career and be able to pick up these wins? Like, can you just talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I've really only been, obviously with one team for so long. So any change for me is going to make me nervous, and for me, I just want to always make the right decision and always be able to, have success because that's been my goal since, I was a young one. So being able to get these wins has been amazing. It's refreshing for me, my career, and it just makes me want to keep going, and I think that's what's cool about our sport is, it'll knock you down, but when you get those one little things that, that little bit of success, it just keeps you going. And that's what I feel right now. And it's quite awesome.
Yeah, I was going to say too, you mentioned recently, like I know a lot of people say the uncertainty in the sport, you never know what's going to happen next. How is it, what is it like from you week to week, not to take these ones for granted, but do they make, Monday through Friday grind a little bit easier, or what's that like?
It's tough because once you get into a position that I'm in right now, as far as the series and everything, you try and keep your mentality as even as possible. When you show up on Monday and you always have a goal, you show up and you want to ride and you want to improve the bike, improve yourself, and try and figure out what you could do to be better. But for me, at this point in my career where I'm at, I'm going to celebrate any win I got, and so I'm going to feel good going to the track on Monday. But at the same time, I know that those tough days when I'm not going to get the result on Saturday are still to come, and that's just our sport. But I'm gonna enjoy this while I can and try and keep striving to be better.
Awesome. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to Nick with the Moto Limited Show.
Thank you. Yeah, Nick Still, Moto Limited Show. Let's go Cooper Webb. Cooper, is it more of a relief to be back here on the podium, from the following weeks you've had trying to chase this motorcycle? And then how do you deal with the negativity, Not performing, there's always going to be people asking questions. Was it because you left Baker's factory? Was it the motorcycle? Does that affect you as well, or do you just try and shrug it off and week in, week out, try and make this bike better?
Yeah, there's a lot, man. It's obviously a lot of noise, and it can definitely affect you. And maybe it has a little, or maybe it hasn't. But I think the biggest thing is just never doubting yourself. I think that's where I had started to go down that road where you second guess decisions, this or that. And I think, like I said, I finally just put all the noise away and went out and did it for myself this week. I feel like so. It's tough, man. Our sport is like Jason said, it can be up and down, and it can throw a lot at you. So I think just staying positive and working through those problems with a good group is important. So, yeah, just never give up and keep fighting the whole way.
Congratulations on the rebound, mate. Well done.
All right, we will go to Jason Wygant.
Yeah, thanks, Jason from Racer X again. I'll go to you, Jason Anderson. You know what it's like to deal with the pressure of winning this title and how difficult that is. Is there a moment this year or even the offseason and switching where you've kind of reset and said, hey, I'm all in, whatever that brings, it brings? Because it sure seems like you're not worried about red plates, points, leads, any of that. You're all in.
Yeah. To be honest, until I, call it quits on my career or whatever, I just want to put my heart out there. And I think, making that switch and, maybe struggling a little bit, whatever the result is, I just want to keep striving to be my best, and it's honestly a tough thing to be vulnerable with yourself, be able to suffer, be able to, get tired sometimes. And for me, I'm just going to try and put it all on the line until I call it quits, and I feel like that's a change for me just mentally and stuff like that. And then obviously, changing my team and stuff like that, that's been refreshing, but most of all, just more personally, I really feel a lot better. And I'm enjoying myself and trying to embrace, each emotion, whether it's negative, positive, I have a bad day, good day, and I leave the track and go hang out.
Good stuff. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Alex Gobert.
Thanks. Yeah, Alex Gobert, MotoOnline.com. This one's for Cooper Webb. You've mentioned multiple times now not giving up. We know just how hard you push when your back's against the wall. So tell us about your take on being 25 points down. Is the championship still a possibility? And defending. What's your take on that right now?
I think that's obviously it'd take a lot for that to happen. But with that being said, I think just being back up here was a lot of confidence, and I feel like I'm a guy where I once I get that confidence, I go pretty quickly to the next step. So yeah, it's just nice. I believe again, and I believe about being up there and battling with the guys. I felt like tonight with the bike we made good progress. My riding progress, starts were good, so it's all there, so we'll see what happens, but it's stacked this year, man. There's a lot of great guys out there, and as we've seen, the racing's been tight, so I still need to get better, but it's never over. But I think for me, just fighting until the end and getting back up here and getting that first one of the season will be the next step.
Right on. Thank you.
All right, let's go to Brad Gebhardt, and then after that, we will finish with Michael Antonovich.
Thanks, Kristen. Brad Gebhardt, Big MX Radio. Let's go to Marvin on this one. Marvin, one of the things that stuck out for so far this year is a start position that isn't favorable to great results, often putting yourself in a bad position on that first lap. How do you correct that? And also, how do you sort of compose yourself when you do get a bad start?
That's a good question. Definitely try your best. Today in the heat race, I got ran over. I got hit from behind, and then I couldn't get a good start. So that heat race was tough. But at the same time, you don't want to send it too hard because it's easy to crash, especially on the East Coast when the ground's soft. And if one guy in the straight rhythm and like in a rhythm section it goes left or right, it's easy to go down. So you also got to be careful to that. You want to try your best, but at the same time you got to be watch out for the other guys. So tonight in the main event, I had a bad start, but somehow I was able to be super quick on the first left and then double, and then into the right. I turned really, really quick, and then I passed a few guys, and I was right there in the mix. So that's exactly what I needed. I was super confident. I had a great good pick, but I messed up. I lost balance, and it was all my fault on that one. So, but anyway, my starts hasn't been terrible. So we're moving forward and looking forward to get good starts and again be in the mix.
Fair enough. Now being on the East Coast, do you forecast being able to make some changes to the bike as well as just a different sort of schedule for yourself to make some more successful events?
Well, to be honest, I just had the same setup on my bike than A3, and to be honest, it was kind of a test today. Basically, coming to the race and then be like, well, we'll see how it goes. I feel okay on the bike. I know we can make it better for sure, but it's not easy. So we learn with the racing, and we are 3 riders in the team, so we're trying to also learn from each other, and today was a good test.
Perfect. Thank you.
Final question with Michael Antonovich. Hi, Michael.
Cool. Thank you, Kristen. Hi. For Marvin, I've noticed this over the last few weeks. You look very aggressive on the bike. I noticed this back at San Diego in that opening lap, and then the race went the way it did. But even in these last few weeks, you and Aaron seem very aggressive in the corners and scrubbing on this bike. Is that something that this new machine needs, or is this something that you are doing at this stage in your career with like DV involved?
No, I think that's my style, and I feel like every weekend, everybody is gonna say the same thing, that the competition stuff. So you have to be aggressive and you have to push hard. So I've been training a little different this year, and some things are better, I feel like. So I've been enjoying it more, and it's been a lot different on my program, but in the riding style, we did change a little things on the handlebar and stuff. So I don't know if that makes a difference, and obviously the whole bike is a lot different, and the training with DV. So I don't know. I mean, if it's paying off, it's cool. I just wanna keep going and enjoy being part of the mix. I don't wanna be racing for 8th or 10th. You know what I'm saying? I want to be competitive, and because that's what gets me going. And so we're right there. First podium of the year. It was not my best race, but I'm here, so we'll keep going.
Thank you.
All right. Congratulations to our 450 podium from Minneapolis. Congratulations, guys.